and welcome to episode 68 of the Unwrapped Leader Podcast, where we get raw, real, and relevant in the new network marketing and helping you become a gifted leader in your business. My name is Teisha Dorianna from Canada, and today is another solo episode. And I wanted to talk about a topic that I have been really in deep discussions with my team lately, and that is how to stop chasing people and start doing this instead. So, have you ever felt like you were constantly chasing after potential leads and recruits only to be met with resistance, rejection, and just feeling like there has to be a better way? Like, I can't be doing this for my entire career in network marketing. I've felt that. I know how you feel, and I want to give you guys a better strategy. So it is time to shift your strategy. We are no longer chasing people. We're no longer cold messaging people. Maybe that stuff worked in the past, but it is not working now. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please give the video a like before we get started here. And I can't wait to share these strategies and tips with you. And so today really is about attraction marketing. You might have heard this term floating around, but maybe you're not exactly sure what it means, or maybe you know what it means, but you're like, I don't know how to actually implement it. I'm just told to go chase people and message people and make a list of 100. We're going to cover all of that today and what my thoughts are on that and how you can better shift that strategy. So let's first start with just the struggles that we face when we're chasing after leads. And this is going to be both for your products and for your business opportunity. So whether you are building on, in terms of sales and you're trying to build an organization, this episode is going to speak to both of those sides. Okay. So the number one struggle we get when we are chasing after potential recruits and leads for our products is rejection, right? And we learned that a no is something we should not take personal, which is so true because it's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them, and not a product and a business opportunity is not going to be for everyone. And we just have to be okay with that. And an analogy that I like to use whenever people get a no and they're feeling kind of down about themselves is like, guys, we go out to eat at restaurants, and after we eat, and sometimes we're really freaking full, the waitress will ask us, do you have any room for dessert? And a lot of times we're like, oh my gosh, no, like I am just so full, but thank you. And they walk away and they don't take offense to that. They're asking you if you want dessert because that is their job, right? So when we could start looking as asking people to be open to looking at an opportunity and they say no, that's not a reflection of you, and you don't have to get offended. Just like the waitress was not offended that you did not want dessert. That is literally just their job. Okay. But rejection, constantly reaching out to people who may not be interested, that can often result in, frequent rejection. And that could be really demotivating for people. And so when we're constantly chasing people, like that could be a low conversion rate. And I know they say like 1 in every 10 is going to say yes to the opportunity, but there are still so many better ways to actually just attract people to ask more questions rather than feeling like you're chasing people constantly. Okay. So that's like the number one struggle when chasing after leads. Another one, and this could lead to burnout, right? Working tirelessly without seeing significant results. I want to say we've all felt it, but if you haven't felt it yet, I know that chasing people 24/7 is going to start to result in that. So I would suggest you change your strategy now so that you never have to deal with burnout, because it just sucks. And then you get into this funk and it's really hard to pull yourself out of that. Another one is that it's time consuming, right? It leaves little time for other essential aspects of your business. Like, are you working on those income producing activities, or are you just focusing on constantly chasing people, which can be an income producing activity, but again, there's a better way. But it also takes away from just time in your personal life, time for self-care, things that are important to you that you need to really focus on. And so it's time consuming, which again leads to burnout, leads to rejection. And then the last one I have here is inauthenticity. A lot of people struggle with this, is feeling like when you're reaching out and you feel like icky or gross and you're like, this just doesn't feel like me. And don't mistake inauthenticity with stepping outside your comfort zone, because there is a difference. Like, it's definitely going to feel uncomfortable to do some some of the things you're taught in network marketing at first. If you're taught the right way, it's still going to feel uncomfortable because it's new. But there is a difference between feeling inauthentic and just stepping outside your comfort zone. So sometimes, constantly chasing people can come across as inauthentic or insincere. And honestly, sometimes this can harm relationships and long-term prospects. And this could also ultimately leave a bad reputation for yourself in the future. And then you're going to lose trust with people, right? Because people talk, and if people feel like you were being pushy or just inauthentic or just kind of icky, they talk. And that could be, bad for just the trust that the people around you may have had at one point. So I want to teach you guys a better way, but let's just quickly cover one example. Have you guys ever heard of the 100 list or anything along the lines of someone saying to you, just make a list of 100 people. Here you go, write down everyone's names and go reach out to every single one of them. And also you can, put next to their name, do you think they'd be a customer? Do you think they'd be, if you're in Party Plan, do you think they'd be a host? Do you think that they would be a recruit? Like put next to them what you think it is. And let me just be perfectly clear. I don't think there's a problem with creating a list of 100 people. I don't. What I have a problem with is that when you're telling someone new or, to team building to make this list and send messages to all of them. I don't like that. And maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but I struggle with that. Anytime someone tells me to make a list, my heart drops. I remember when I was first learning so many strategies and skills in this business, and every time someone told me to make a list, it drove me nuts because I'm like, how many more lists can I make? How many more people can I think about? You know what I mean? And so my thoughts on the 100 list, again, I'm not against making the list. I'm not against lists at all. I do have lists. But I would suggest, rather than cold messaging, and I know sometimes they say like, oh, start a genuine conversation, blah, blah, blah. Use this as a connect list. Use it as a list to make better efforts to connect with people on a genuine level. So not just like, hey, have you tried my product? Or, hey, like, you'd be so good at this, like right off the bat. It's like, if you haven't talked to someone in years, and then you all of a sudden just message them, say, hey, how's it going? Like, I know that's coming across as a friendly message, but people know like, okay, this girl I haven't talked to in 5 years, and now she's in my DMs asking me how I'm doing. And even though this sucks, people think, and I think this way too, if I hear from someone after like 10 years or 5 years or something, I'm just like, what do they want? Right? It's a really shitty world we live in that we have to think, what do they want? Like they don't just want to talk, right? So I put them on something called a connect list. And I'm okay with these lists because it allows me to better connect with people on a genuine and authentic level daily. And I pick a couple people from that list every day, and I simply just connect with them, whether that be going out to their Facebook or Instagram profile. Did they make a post lately? Do they have a story on there? And if they do, respond with something like a genuine question or like a sincere compliment, right? And it's just starting to get your name in their presence and in their feed. And I don't know about you, but when I have someone say like comment on my posts or like my stories that I haven't talked to in forever, I will normally go to their profile and be like, oh, wow, I haven't heard from them in a while. Like, what are they up to? Right. And I feel like that's a lot more genuine. And especially in stories, when you could like reply to a story, whether it be on Facebook or Instagram, that goes directly to their DM. So that already creates a conversation based on something about them that they posted. And then it's so much easier to translate that conversation into something like, so how have you been lately? We haven't chatted in forever. What are you up to? What's life look like? Right. And that's so much more sincere than just being like, hey, how's it going? Haven't talked in 10 years, but just want to know what's going on. So don't use it as a cold message list. And don't spend time making a list of 100 people and then never taking action. Okay. Slowly make that connect list. But what I'm getting at here is that I just, there's a lot of struggles when it comes to chasing leads, and we need to shift that strategy. So I want to teach you how to develop an attraction marketing mindset. So for those of you who are new to the attraction marketing, what it's defined as is a strategy used to attract potential customers or clients to your products, services, or business opportunity rather than chasing them. And this is a strategy I've implemented a lot more lately with the new company that I've shifted to. I used to be in Party Plan. I'm now in sort of a more retail-based company that is completely on social media. And that's how I attract leads, is through attraction marketing. And so rather than feeling like I'm chasing people all the time, I create opportunities for myself. So people ask me questions and people come to me. And it does take some skill and it does take time. You still need patience with this, but it essentially revolves around positioning yourself and your brand as an attractive and valuable resource. And it naturally draws people in. And that's what we want to do. So stop chasing people and start doing this instead. Okay. People are attracted to those who provide value and solution. So I want you to be a problem solver in every day of your life, no matter you are, out grocery shopping, you're scrolling through a Facebook group. Maybe you're in a Facebook group for your cat, or you're in a Facebook group for your cooking addiction. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't even have to be business related. That's one of my income producing activities, is like every single, well, it's not a daily, but it's like a weekly activity that I do. I make sure, like, any sort of groups I'm in, or like communities that I'm a part of within my town or city, I make sure to go solve problems. I go look through and I either comment on posts, like genuine recommendations. Maybe someone's asking, like, you see even on a story, like, oh my gosh, what should I do with my hair this time? Or does anyone have any advice for when you're cooking, blah, 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 whatever, right? Go and respond and give value, because it just builds your trust as a brand and as a person. Okay. And I know that it's not business related, but it is creating opportunities for you to network with people. And that's what you need to do in order to implement attraction marketing in your business. So when I talk about creating opportunities for yourself, you want to be doing this through creating curiosity posts on your social media, on your stories, all over the place, anywhere that you essentially network and post about your business or just everyday life. So number one is content that addresses pain points. And this could be for your products or business, right? So if you sell like a health and wellness product, you could talk about a pain point that people experience. Like, what kind of problem does your product solve? Is it energy? Is it focus? Is it brain fog? Is it like a lack of protein or maybe vitamins? Whatever kind of product you have, think of the pain point associated with that. And that's what you're going to open up with. That's going to be your hook to people. And then in terms of business, there's a lot of mostly similarities across all of the network marketing industry. Do people struggle with time freedom, financial freedom, wanting to be at home more with their kids, seeking a community and feeling like there's more to life than just, being a mom or, whatever it is, being a wife? Like, there's so many reasons people join a network marketing business, and you joined for a reason. What is the reason that you joined? How are you going to attract more people just like you who came into this business with some sort of pain point, right? And really address that when you're creating content, whether that be through your stories, whether that be through your feed. You want to address someone's pain point and open up with that and talk about all the different factors associated with that pain point, right? The next is content that is relatable. And this could be outside of business too, right? Like, I feel like being a mom is a big market. I'm not a mom, but being a mom is a big market. Like, there's so many people on social media, and I follow a lot of moms and I see them all the time, of them talking about just like the pain points of being a mom, like, whatever it is, like chaos in the living room, trying to cook dinner and your kid's doing something wild, right? Like, those are the things that are relatable. Those are the things that are going to build trust. So share that. And when people start to see that you have a business alongside your chaotic life or whatever else is going to be relatable to them, that's when they start to see themselves in your shoes. You are selling a lifestyle. Remember that you're selling a lifestyle. So really talk about that lifestyle outside of business as well. Maybe you're traveling, you're on the go with your business. You love being able to work from anywhere. I'm sure there's a million other people on social media who would love to work from anywhere and not have to go into an office and work a 9 to 5, right? That's a pain point, and that's something that's going to be relatable to people. And then last is content that is valuable, right? Something that creates trust with people. This could be with the product or the business. So maybe your product, it solves X, Y, and Z, right? What is it solving? What is the solution and what's really happening, right? You could talk about the solution, like it's going to give you more energy, but what does that extra energy do for a person? It allows them to go all day and not have to nap. right? And like, think about the things associated with the solution, not just the solution. Like, you have to dig a little bit deeper than that. So things that provide value, that are relatable, like if you could even hit all those things in that one post and piece of content that you deliver, you know, it's addressing a pain point, it's relatable to people, and it's valuable. You're teaching them tips and tricks and hacks. It could be with your product, but it could also be, again, outside of that. It's all building trust. And then also, you know, about your business, like, what is valuable content about your business? So I love to talk about the network marketing industry. That's what I do on this podcast. I like to teach you guys strategies and tips and hacks and experiences and things that I've learned along the way, right? And those are the kind of things that people look at as valuable. I hope you guys are finding this podcast episode valuable, right? And so down the line, if people are like, you know, I do want an extra stream of income, or I do want to join a business, people are going to look for those people who are providing value, people that they trust, and people that they know could give them the best shot at being successful. So that's why you want to create this kind of content that converts. Okay. Last thing I want to touch on is building your personal brand and online presence. And building a personal brand, it does take time and it takes effort, but that's also something that creates trust with your audience. And having an online presence, the number one thing that you need to do in order to create this is showing up consistently every single day. And what I do to show up consistently every day is I have an everyday checklist. It is very specific to my business, and yours might look a little bit different based on how you run your business and what kind of business you're in. But it's a list of your income producing activities. And I think I want to do an episode on this down the road, just like how to create an everyday checklist and what that looks like, you know, maybe for a party plan business or for a business that's more completely on social media. But if that is something that interests you, let me know in the comments of this episode if it's something that you think would be beneficial to you in this business. I could do an episode on an everyday checklist, but that's what I have. And I have, so I'll just show you really quick. This is my everyday checklist. If you are listening on Spotify and Apple, obviously you didn't see that, but on YouTube you guys did. And it's pretty much like my weekly planner. I have a daily routine. I have little boxes to check off every single day of the things I want to do. And it's not just business. I have everything on there. Like, I have exercise for 60 minutes. Every single day I want to do that. I have, you know, personal development reading for 30 minutes. I want to make sure I'm reading and growing myself every single day, and like a bunch of other tasks. And it's also going to look different depending on if you are doing this full time or if you're doing it part time or casually. But essentially what you want to do is plug in for an hour. Just take an hour out of your day to build your business and make sure that you're showing up consistently online. And networking is a huge part of, you know, a personal brand and building an online presence. You could do this, and I talked about it a little bit before. You could do this in direct messages. You could do this in Facebook groups. You could do this in your stories, your feed. And this is about everything, your passions, right? Because at the end of the day, I talk about you are selling a lifestyle, right? You have products, you have a business opportunity, but what else makes you stand out? Because there are millions of people doing the exact same thing as you. Some in your business, like it's almost identical, but you need to find your unique element of what sets you apart from others. Why should people buy a product from you? Why should people join your team? Because at the end of the day, your product and services could be really great, but people are going to return as customers because they trust you, because they know you, and because you are showing up consistently online. And you could really build those strong connections and start attracting people to your business and products if you really utilize attraction marketing. So that is the episode, and I hope you guys had some key takeaways. I'm going to leave you with a challenge, okay? And this is one of my income producing activities. I challenge you to make 2 new connections daily. Put this on your daily checklist. You need to make 2 new connections through either just through networking, right? And I gave you guys some different tips on how to network genuinely, connect with people authentically, and just, again, plug in for an hour, do your income producing activities. But if you focus on making 2 new connections every day, and not connections based on business, connections based on similarities and things that you are passionate about, whether that be through Facebook or Instagram, or maybe it's even in person, make 2 new connections daily and maintain them. Continue to connect with them, build on that. Because I've had people that I've connected with years ago and we stayed in touch just casually. It's not like every day something that's going to tire you out, but those same people have come back a year or two later and they're like, I see what you're doing online. Like, tell me more about that. And I think it's really cool that if you could just continue to network and meet new people every single day, just based on things that you like outside of your business, a lot of it turns into a business, or maybe it turns into a referral. But at the end of the day, you still have a new friend. You still have a new connection. And it's good to have connections because your net worth is your network. Or is it the other way? Your network is, yes, your network is your net worth, right? So build your network, use attraction marketing, and build that trust with your audience. So thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like the video, comment down below your biggest takeaways, share this video with your teams if you feel like it would be of value to them on how they can start attracting people and stop chasing people. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the bell so that you never miss out on an episode. And if you're watching on Spotify or Apple, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps us grow and we appreciate it so much. So thank you guys again, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.